Y boom, boom, ahí estamos, again and again, FENcast grabando, hoy con un artist que he tenido previamente, ya creo que twice, right? No me equivoco.
Eh, no estoy ni seguro. I think this is the third
Ya por eso, I think this is the third time. Este,
video del álbum. Y eso
yeah,
como que me confunde. Son cuatro en total, pero this is the third interview.
yeah. Nada, estamos con 96. He's a rapper. He does a little bit of singing and a few songs ahora. For the most part in English, también en Spanglish. Getting a little bit of everything. Dude, ¿cómo estamos?
Oh, bien, mano, tranquilo, ya tú sabes, working hard. ¿Y tú cómo andas?
Todo bien, mano, como te dije antes de empezar a grabar, día super busy at work, pero ya estamos aquí doing what we love, what we love.
Ujú.
Lo que hopefully sería the real
Ya
9 to
tú,
5.
ya tú estás back to school, ¿verdad?
Sí, y demasiado intenso, demasiado intenso.
Me imagino, macho.
Eh, Te diré off screen cuán intenso. Eh, pero nada, dude, antes de irnos como que breaking down the new project, tu social media y esas cosas para que la gente sepa.
Mano, mis social medias, let me just make sure I got my handles right, que yo siempre estoy cambiándolo.
Mm,
Pero obviamente en Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere for music, sigo igual, 96, 96 en inglés, all caps. En Instagram right now estoy underscore 96. O sea, me puedes encontrar. Y apart from that, para mí lo que me importa es la música. So look for me as 96 and on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube. I'm starting to upload more consistent music videos.
perfect. Pues nada, mano. Going straight into the project. Mundo Nueve. First off, antes de irnos como que song by song. Cover art looks like something that would be good in a vinyl. So te pregunto, ¿quién te ayudó? Y was that a part of the process cuando lo hicieron?
Pues fíjate, el que me hizo el arte, Sandali Arts, I'm not sure really how it's pronounced, pero es un chamaco, great page on Instagram, me lo recomendó con Arte, so trabajé con él y eso mismo, como que he collaborated with me very diligently en los detalles y me preguntó que cada detallito que quería, pero ese detallito de ponerle como que ese efecto as if it has like plastic on it, like a vinyl, eso fue all him.
Mm,
Like he did it on his own, and I honestly me gustó un montón porque the more you look at it, the more at first it wasn't intentional, but it's like wow, it has a very classic feel because the picture is imitating un momento from the movie Scarface.
Eso iba a preguntar ahora. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so like I didn't even have to explain it to him, but I guess que he went con una mentalidad de que okay, let's make it 70ish ese estilo. Y abrió un very interesting conversation con mi colaborador, con Easy Drake, que ahora queremos para el próximo proyecto, posiblemente para este, vamos a mandar a hacer vinyls, 2 to 3 of them, like maybe to keep one as a personal item y otro para repartirlo a un super fan, you know.
Super dope. Super dope. Este, de hecho, esa funny thing, la referencia a Scarface y todo, porque I'm pretty sure que you're a Nas fan, y
Mm-hmm.
en esa escena donde salen los dos clásicos The World Is Yours. So, para la
Yeah,
gente que
exactly.
no sepa, pues that's where it comes from.
Exactly. Like it's a nice co. I'm sure Nas, if I'm not mistaken, he took a lot of influence from watching that movie too.
Mm,
So like The World Is Yours is definitely, o sea, se puede discutir, pero si a mí me preguntan cuál es tu track favorito de hip hop all time, I might say The World Is Yours. Como que it's just what makes me feel good when I listen to hip hop. It's all there on that song. So that's a like I've always enjoyed the phrase. So it's not like I identify with the Scarface scene that much in the obvious whole scope of it because Tony
no.
Montana at the end of the day is a tragic figure que no le sale bien la movida.
Mm,
Pero it's the moment that that sudden euforia que te entra cuando tú piensas algo me está yendo bien en mi carrera o en whatever esto me propuse como mi meta, and you suddenly get that rush of like the world is mine if I keep doing this right, como que I can have it all, I can grab it. So it's like kind of like running with that feeling, and I made an album with that feeling like the world is yours, ¿entiendes?
yeah. Que de hecho es hasta interesting que it has El proyecto, aunque son 6 canciones, it has a few elements que lo hacen sentir un poquito New Yorkish. Este, so te pregunto, was that at all an influence? New York life?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've never lived in New York, but it's probably the place that I've most traveled to apart from, well, like I lived in Miami for a few years, so apart from Miami, it's probably the place that I've most been in the United States travel wise. So it's like always been a city that I've enjoyed. Influence wise, the amount of rappers I can name that influenced me de ahí son demasiado, like truly demasiado. Pero I always credit my sound that what I call my New York sound, my como que
Mhm.
city boy sound, is yo like I take a lot of influence from Jay Critch.
Mm.
Is my modern rapper that I like to reference. Jay Critch is like the modern rapper that I listen to and I say this is very enjoyable rap from New York. And then like sometimes you listen to Biggie and rappers like that, and
Mm.
it's great, but it's like no hay rapero así ahora. So
Mm.
Jay Critch gives me that feeling of like that when you listen to a New York rapper, you get that feeling of like he's fresh as fuck. And then so I can name a few others, but when I like Lex Ave definitely is like the most New Yorky song off the album, and I always call those like my Critch songs because I feel like I'm honing into that energy.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. De hecho, ya que estamos hablando de New York, New York rappers y ese sonido, eh, para la gente que no le ha dado oído a Mayhem Lauren y simplemente se han quedado con Action Bronson,
Mm.
escuchen con Self-Induced Illness. Son 41 canciones, dura 2 horas. I think it's like a mixtape,
But
pero
who did you mention first before Action Bronson? Sorry.
Mayhem Lauren es
Yeah, go
como que su bro de la
ahead.
vida, básicamente. Escuchen Self-Induced Illness de Mayhem Lauren. Es largo, especialmente para la gente que no tiene attention span largo, pero si le gusta boom bap y simplemente bars, pues ese proyecto completo está cabrón. Now, with that being said, let's get into Mundo Nueve. Casino, talk to me. Bass heavy, el hook con el soul sample. Yo creo que te lo dije a ti personalmente before doing this, so talk to me about the process with that song.
Mono Casino, I really enjoyed making Casino, and it's probably been the one that's gotten the most positive reviews in the sense that I've gotten the most amount of como que I like that song. Porque, por ejemplo, like maybe Bounce is the one que más ha movido, pero
Hmm.
Casino definitely is the one where I've gotten the most positive reviews from both women and men. Y yeah, como que I like to, with that song, I take a lot of influence from like the South, from Kodak Black and other rappers that I like from the South. En el sentido de que you're taking like a very positive, nice, enjoy, like a beat that makes you feel good. And you're rapping like un poquito like more intense stuff on como que el contraste de bueno, the dark and light.
Hmm.
And that's what I was looking to do on that song, even though como que my tone is a little bit upbeat on it. Pero yeah, como que I just wanted to take a very catchy sample que mi proceso con las pistas usualmente es que I'll listen to them and I'll enjoy them so much myself que I'll eventually make a track on it, ¿entiendes? So in that case fue como que I was listening to that instrumental for a minute y eventualmente I was like, what can I make on this? Y quedé en el tema de cómo uno se siente when basing it on like I said, the Southern influence. Like if you've ever heard Plies, ran off on the plug twice. Like the concept of you making so much money one night in the casino that you feel like you're basically robbing them and you got to leave before they take your money away. So
Hmm.
it's like that's the concept of the song that como que ran off on the plug at the Marriott Casino y por ahí para abajo, just that good feeling de estar vacilando el resto de la noche with that like rich sample atrás making you feel good.
Yeah. No sé por qué, pero ya que estamos hablando de casino, mencionaba about getting away when the time is right, sin que, pierda todo lo que ganaste. Always también tengan cuidado que no tengan un casino owned by the mob, como en Casino, y no tengan un Joe Pesci character que venga a caerle con un martillo.
And generally stay away from casinos. There's no way to win. Como que en cuanto métete, pero don't do it too much, kids.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Y también watch out with online casinos and all that bullshit que está pasando ahora. That being said, feel it. For me, it was kind of strange, porque you've done a little bit of singing in the past. pero en esta un poquito más.
Ujú,
Están mezclando el singing y el rapping. Y más en Spanglish, ¿no? Porque quizás la gente está más acostumbrada a escucharte en inglés.
ujú.
So, doing Spanglish R&B con algunos elementos de boom bap. ¿Cómo se sintió hacer esa mezcla? ¿Y cómo se sintió flex those singing muscles a little bit more?
No se sintió bien, it was interesting, definitely. Mi estilo de hacer música es bien, no, yo no diría que soy selectivo, ¿entiendes? Like I'm constantly like creating and searching different sounds y en ese caso simplemente como me topé con ciertas pistas con elementos de strong R&B and obviously con ese tipo de pista you have to like you want to attack the beat always in the correct way and I was like I have to sing to this and eventually ¿entiendes? Me salió naturalmente un coro and I basically built the song around that.
Mm,
So I built the song around that y cuando llegué a los elementos del segundo verso, which is where it gets a little bit more rappy and more boom bappy, like that's a perfect example of also my process that sometimes I'll grab a verse from another song and I'll put it on another song. And
mm,
that was for a boom bap song que yo tenía, que was planned for a cipher que nunca se dio. And it was
mm,
on a reggae beat, a very like reggae infused beat.
mm,
So the whole tempo and vibe was different, but I still kept that, you know, with boom bap, you keep that element of the bars and it's all there. So I just switched it up and siento que mezcló súper bien ese elemento de estar cantando y después como que rapping boom bap, like I mixed it very well, I believe. And it's just my opinion, it's just my first of that type of song que voy a seguir en todos los proyectos atacando diferentes estilos de música y obviamente voy a estar cantando de nuevo. Y I know it's just gonna get better and better, ¿entiendes?
yeah, 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 yeah. La próxima, la mencionaste casi ahora, Bounce. Dijiste que es la que quizás ha movido más en cuestión a people listening to it.
Yeah.
Shout out a Easy Dre. He was supposed to be interviewed at this time today, pero he's doing something else. Le surgió otra
Yeah,
cosa.
yeah. He told me he's a busy man, que tiene par de meetings hoy, pero nada, so you'll catch him soon. He's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
plenty, igual que yo, él y yo estamos en las mismas montando cositas, vamos, él va a sacar temas pronto, yo dejo que él lo diga, pero he's got some shit on the way que it's really good.
dope, 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 dope. Now, that being said, está super inspired by Southern hip hop y obviamente por trap music. Pero a pesar de eso, también te quería preguntar más about the dynamic, the chemistry that you guys share y cómo fluyó en esta canción. Like, what was the process? Did you guys estaban en el estudio o fue la que están haciendo mucho idea de que pues, se enviaron los beats y los
No,
vocals
no,
de
no.
internet? ¿Cómo fue eso?
Pues, bueno, primero, y si yo hacemos todo orgánico, ¿entiendes? Like, estaríamos trabajando en persona hace como 3 años que por más que it'll sometimes be a few weeks, sometimes it'll be a couple times a week, dependiendo como los dos andamos busy, pero like we'll always link up every once in a while y montamos cosas. Y como artistas colaborando siempre tenemos diferentes procesos. A momento we'll start a song from scratch, escuchando la pista, and we'll both write from scratch and basically make it 100% a collaboration. And we'll help each other like montar what would be the catchiest chorus para los dos, ese tipo de cosas. En otros casos, yo le presento un tema que maybe I'm not sure about or I want him to be on and he'll hop on it if he likes it and same vice versa. Que así mismito, ¿entiendes? Así mismito, casi todos los temas que tengo con él han sido así, that he's liked them and he's hopped on them y todos los temas que yo estoy en él así ha sido invertido. So with Bounce, it was one of the examples of we have another featuring engavetado que se llama Movie and it was gonna be on the album instead of Bounce, but it was much more boom bappy,
Mm,
little longer, a lot of move. I remember I dropped a bunch of like director, actor, movie references in it. Y entiendes, se sentía que no tenía ese elemento comercial. Y
mm,
so dije, let me pull this one and let me bring a little more bouncy, literalmente for the club. Y empezamos a maquinearla y en una ahí sí me dice, mira, yo tengo este tema que nunca usé y me sacó Bounce and it was basically up till half of it y yo dije, let me just write something on that, I put my verse on it and we cleaned it up y acabó siendo el tema. So eso ya viene siendo yo montándome un concepto de Easy que
mm,
me regaló para el álbum, ¿entiendes? Pero ahora mismo él y yo tenemos un palo buenísimo de house montado, que es algo que ninguno de los dos hemos hecho mucho. Pero we tried it, amazing, probably our best, most commercial track, very catchy. And estamos montando ahora mismo un plan de salida, posiblemente para noviembre o antes.
Interesting, interesting. Dicho eso, mencionaste movie y you guys tienen una química que, it's easy, seamless, like butter. So the Wu-Tang Clan has these two guys called Raekwon and Ghostface Killer. Y su química está cabrona. And their songs are always like movies. You can visualize them easily. So why not make a project called Easy Six, 6 tracks, where you guys just go boom bap all the way and just give it to me as a gift? ¿Qué tal eso? I don't know. A friendly request from your friend Fen.
Yeah, we can talk. We'll talk about it. It sounds like a good idea. Me and Easy have done back and forth freestyles. We've like a few years ago, we have one track. I think it's only on YouTube and SoundCloud. Que se llama Coffin, and it's like a back and forth, literally a 4 and 4, a whole song. So we've definitely played around with the concept. That's what mismo. Like, we know that people like how we collaborate. So we just keep, we're basically in that era de experimentar con eso. Pero yo imagino que ni yo ni si nos queremos casar con la idea de ser un dúo, ¿entiendes? We want to have our artistic identity. Pero exacto, un proyecto colaborativo nunca viene mal entre medio de álbums para keep the fans como que give them some good rap, like with when Future and Drake does it. My favorite example of that, pero ya they son un dúo, Outkast, ¿entiendes? When they drop the Speaker Box album, ¿entiendes? Okay, yeah, that's an amazing concept, de great collaboration, de ellos permitirse a ellos mismos be their own person while being a duo. O sea, my Outkast top 5, ¿entiendes?
Yeah. A classic right there. That being said, vamos para el Lex Avenue. Una que se presta fácil para lo que es hangueo, at least for me. Mientras, you do a little bit of self-reflection, además de que talk about some New York ventures. So, esa es la que tú me dirías que es la que más New York inspired, I guess.
Yeah. I literally wrote that song on my last New York vacation. Last year I went to New York twice, in December and a few months later. And in December I stayed for like a week, and the later date I just stayed 2 or 3 days before I drove up to Boston, then Canada. So like the first date, it was like a week, and I was taking a girl that had never gone to New York. So it was a great like poder like turistear, ¿entiendes? De nuevo desde cero. So I remember one day we were staying at the hotel we were staying at, that I was working at a hotel last year, so I got discounts at all these like little niche hotels. So I got this great little hotel at an area that was like 2 streets from Times Square, called on Lex Avenue. So like one night I went downstairs, stood outside in the lobby, and like I don't remember, 30-40 degree weather, and I was smoking a blunt, and I just started off there. I was like, okay, let me just start writing a song, and then I like based around what I did today, based around where I'm staying, what I'm doing. And my mentality in the moment was like, I was in that mentality since the moment I got on the plane. I was like, the realer the better, because like raps are cool when you're lyrical and stuff, but the more you talk about real stuff, people can really notice when it's real. So on that track, I was like, the realer the better. I'm just gonna rap a whole song about what I'm kind of doing, and about a couple of the adventures I had on that trip. Like I had a housekeeper. I brought my dog on that trip. I had a little wiener dog, like a little dachshund. So we brought her on in a bag, and like we paid for it and everything, but we brought her, and it was cute as hell. But we left her in the hotel room, and when we got back, the housekeeper was in the room, and we didn't expect that. So yo estaba súper listo para llegar a un revolú. Y cuando llego, está ella tirada con la perra, jugando con ella, vacilando en el cuarto, y de ahí sale la línea de que nos cayó súper bien la housekeeper y le dejamos par de moñitas de regalo, porque ella fumaba. Y entiendes, cositas así, entiendes, like little fun shit that you get to remember about New York.
It reminds me of like, no sé if there was like an indirect influence, but I don't know. It sounds like something Mac Miller would write. Como que, just his ventures, lo más fun.
I don't take direct influence from Mac Miller, I would say, but I think it's subconscious in the sense that, yeah, like maybe the rhyme style and cadence sometimes. Like I have a song that's gonna come out on my next project that it's, for now, the working title is called Wait For Me.
Mm.
It's the title is kind of like a symbolic sequel to Ride for Me of Reams Out of Six, but it's sonáticamente no es parecida. O sea,
Mm.
it's just like title wise, I want to keep that coolness with the title. But the song is very much about kind of the same thing about like heartbreak and being numb. So that song, I wrote it with a heavy Mac Miller influence, especially in the sense that it's kind of like Casino. It has a woman voice on the sample in the background on repetition through the song. It's very catchy. And I talk about kind of like, I touch on suicide and like rough feelings and stuff like that. So I remember writing it and saying, okay, this one is what I call good for the whites. Because like sometimes I'll write songs and I'm like, you attack certain, sounds. And I said, when I was writing that song, I was like, okay, this is definitely kind of like a Mac Miller-ish
Mm.
type song. And that's fine because sometimes you need to attack different demographics and different like, you know, a lot of my songs are catered, I think, to guys because it's heavy rap.
Mm.
So I'm trying to like just, trickle more R&B and singing and relatable topics and stuff like that into my lyrics.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. De hecho, hablando sobre mezclar sonido, el Nerd and Suspect, which I think is my other favorite song, todavía estoy como que entre eso a la primera.
Yeah.
Eh, self-reflection, pero a la misma vez, touching on boom bap y después switching up into more of a trap to the beat. So, cuéntame about the switch up. Y if there's a chance of you performing that live para ver el flexing.
Okay,
Sí.
so first of all, me disculpo que no te he encontrado el sample. I should have done my research before this, but I'll look for it. I'll look on like where the producer got that sample out of. Yo sé que eso va a salir en los credits. So like that song, first of all, probably off the album, it's probably my favorite lyrically, como que word for word. The concept of a beat switch probably came from how much I liked Family Ties, the Baby Keem and Kendrick, even though I like a lot of songs with beat switches, 90210, the Travis, I can name a few, pero tenía Family Ties tan pega y decía, mano, qué poder. Es como que tú coges esa tranquilidad de la primera mitad de la canción and like transform it into a punch
Mm-hmm.
for the second half. Like it's that build up, even though the first half is great lyrically and it's got you bopping, but subconsciously you feel that there's something missing, and when it shows up at halfway through, you're like, shit, this was it. So maybe I would say subconsciously I wanted to imitate that type of energy in a song because I feel like it really gives it that punch in the second half so people could focus on the lyrics more.
Mm.
And it turned into como que un concepto entero porque a mí me gusta decir que yo escribo la canción primero y después el concepto se crea, pero no es así porque se crea mientras la estoy creando, básicamente. Y a mitad de estar creándola dije, ok, la primera mitad digo la palabra nerd y en la segunda digo suspect. Y estudiando la letra, la primera mitad es yo básicamente hablando about how calm and how chill a guy I can be, and how like I like anime and comics and I like a lot of nerdy shit. So like on one side, I'm used to people telling me, yeah, como que tú eres bien tranquilo, ese tipo de cosas. And then the suspect side es como que you have other parts of your life que gente no sabe, que entiende, eventualmente people, when they learn everything about you, they'll maybe view you in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that POV that I've had of being both people, ¿entiendes?
Mm-hmm.
And como que that's basically where the energy of the song came out of. That como que I'm kind of like cluing you in, like how I am at first. Y a mitad, it's like that 1-2 punch, like, but this is who I can truly be as a rapper, ¿entiendes?
Yeah, yeah. Y eso sin saber todos los otros lados que puedes tener como persona, ya. Because
Lo que falta.
who knows how you'll change if you become a dad someday, toda la cuestión.
Yeah.
And you're still in your 20s, so when you turn 30, como cambias también, so different sides, different sides.
Reminds me of like a schoolboy Q, man. And then
Mm.
like some rappers don't touch their best raps until they're like 35, 40, and then son cosas very, o sea, like just touching on Q real quick, very unique rappers get a lot of people maybe don't talk about every day. But when you sit down and you listen to their whole projects, it's like very, very good works of art. Hood
Yeah,
music to the max.
yeah. También me recuerda a LP Killer Mike, que pues, they were good in their own ways, pero when they came together y se unieron como RTJ, pues
Yeah,
different level, different
so,
level.
como que that opened up a whole new world for me rap wise. Encontrar Run the Jewels like really blew my mind. And like the origins of my rap life was basically because of them, because I was obsessed con the idea of mixing two very different rappers on a track. So like my first college days, how I start when I had another rap name and I would rap with different people, I would rap a lot colaborativamente con un chamaco y era esa idea de que yo rapeaba en inglés bien con un flow y él rapeaba en español con un flow más inteligente, más deletreado. Y como que I would always tell him, it's like we're doing a Run the Jewels thing, and he wouldn't get it, pero I fucking love Run the Jewels and Killer Mikey. Like desde que trabajó en Run the Jewels, his solo stuff has been so good. ¿Entiendes? Like one of my favorite tracks in the past few years, off I think it's off Freddie Gibbs's album. O sea, it's Palmaville or
La que
con Freddie Gibbs y Killer Mike. I'm not sure if I'm like the hand but if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Palm Olive. If you haven't heard it, it's a Freddie Gibbs song with Killer Mike. Yeah. To me, that's one of the best songs that got salido in the past few years. Y Killer Mike's part is so good.
Yeah. De hecho, I think it goes comparada con los otros artists in the song, con Pusha, por ejemplo, que está ahí también. I don't know why, pero la parte de Killer Mike como que goes underrated, I guess, for some people.
Yeah, if I remember, it's because it's kind of like a hook, because like he doesn't exactly have a verse, because he just does the young like he does like a little hook bridge, but it's in the entirety of the song, it makes it what it is, and then it makes the verses that Pusha Freddie kick that much harder.
Yeah. De hecho, otra recomendación ahí para la gente, Madlib con Freddie Gibbs, desde el proyecto después de Piñata. That being said, 2 a.m. in San Juan, I guess the most emotional one, no sé, por lo menos yo lo siento así, the most emotional and reflective song. Y la que más conecta, I guess, con el cover art y con lo que estamos hablando ahorita de The World Is Yours type of thing. You know, reflecting about life and how do you create your career path en esto de la música. So, talk to me about that, where you just te estaba pasando lo que me pasa a mí a veces, que a veces no puedes dormir and you just gotta write down your thoughts.
Fíjate, no, I don't remember when I wrote it. I write so many lyrics to ask me what I was doing at the moment that I wrote it, está difícil. But yeah, definitely lyric wise, it's like the deepest, most emotional track. And I'm a weird person in the sense that like my best raps are those, the deep emotional ones. Pero as a rapper, you know, you make a lot of bouncy music, you make a lot of fun music, you make a lot of like party music, you make different types of music. So sometimes I don't attack the deep stuff enough, but when I do, I like to do it very well and, you know, really think about what I'm saying. So a lot of about what I'm saying in that track es cosas que he vivido y pasé. Y me gusta mucho porque a lot of people talk to me about como que, wow, like off the first listen to that album, you can tell that that's the one, bro. Como que that's the one that you were really talking that talk on. And I appreciate that because uno, como un rapero, eso es lo que de verdad uno quiere escuchar, ¿verdad? Que me están, entendiste lo que yo te estoy comunicando y lo que yo quería hacerte sentir. So yeah, I call it like my swan song in the sense that it's la canción, como que a mí me gusta acabar mis proyectos con una canción que se sienta como el final. So, esa era la intención y el título, por lo menos para mí, es imitando el sentimiento de que uno tiene cuando acaba, o sea, te diste par de palos en un jangueo y te fuiste, pero como que no quieres ir a tu casa todavía y estás dando par de vueltas escuchando música, ¿entiendes? And you're just en ese mood pensativo de what's next and what's this and what's that. So, yeah, como que that's like, you're hearing kind of some unfiltered thoughts mío ahí, driving around at 2 a.m.
Gotcha. Beautiful, man. Me encanta porque, como lo dijiste, it's a great way to close the project, ¿no? No solamente are you reflecting, pero como te dijeron, you know, you also touch a la gente que quizá con la otra, pues they didn't connect that much en cuestión emotional. So. Y también me encanta como lo mencionaste, me recordó un poco a Conway y al corillo de Griselda, que todo el tiempo hacen música para la calle o música to show off the raps, pero when they get emotional, they really get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
O sea, nunca pensaría a Conway hablando de suicidal thoughts, pero he does in a few songs, you know? Y la presión que tiene a veces como siendo, I guess, one of the biggest money makers in his entire family tratando de sostener a tanta gente.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talking about the pressure que viene con ser successful and a bunch of other stuff, de verdad.
That being said, mano, mencionaste a few songs que estás trabajando que might come in the future. So, entre ellas la de House y otra que se conectaba a uno de los proyectos previos, in one way, por lo menos en el title. So, what's coming up for 96? Estamos grabando en agosto, finales. Esto sale en octubre. ¿Qué se puede esperar de aquí a allá? Y hopefully for the rest of the year.
So, mi próximo tema sale septiembre 22, que eso cae un jueves. So, Thursday, September 22, I scheduled it for 5:30 p.m. para que la gente lo coja saliendo ahí del trabajo. Y ese tema se va a llamar Goodbye, exclamation point. And it's a very Lil Baby, NBA young boy style, like I said, like Southern, como que influenced. It has loud trumpets and como que ringing bells through in the background throughout the whole track. And it's a very highly energetic, como que song where no quiero resumir el contenido, pero basically I'm just things that you would imagine that a Lil Baby or an NBA young boy would be talking about on a song about how como que you run through women and you kick them out and you say goodbye and stuff like that. And within that, obviously, like a couple of like a solid verse of raps. It's a short, como que 2-3 minute song. Pero right now, my plan for that is I'm gonna record I don't know if you know what On the Block is, but it's similar to like the Color Show.
Okay.
It's like a hood version of Color Show. Like they do it outside, like in ghettos and with backgrounds bien interesante. And G Herbo, Lil Yachty, a few. Jay Critch did one the other day. So I'm gonna do something kind of with that style. De que voy a ir a una cancha donde yo juego baloncesto mucho, and we're gonna set up the microphone hanging, and we're gonna put it in frame. And ¿entiendes? Yo voy a grabar un visual como si estuviera rapeando eso en vivo.
Mm.
Y entiende, it's gonna give that visual element to the next song because it's a very simple song. It's just short song where I'm just like, my idea is acabo de sacar el proyecto, ya sé, you guys have stuff to listen to, but I'm gonna give you a little rap song para vacilar.
Mm.
And after that rap song, pues I'm gonna lock in and start working on my next project, which when I say start working is a como que basically I already have about 5 or 6 tracks ready for it. So cuestión de montar maybe 4 to 6 more. I want to try to make a longer album. This time 8 to 10, maybe 12 tracks, dependiendo de. No tengo nombre para ese álbum todavía, pero ¿entiendes? Like, les voy a dar bastante contenido este año antes que acabe el año. Mi plan es, hopefully, tener ese álbum ready saliendo para noviembre.
Super good, super good. ¿Ahí estaría la canción de House que mencionaste ahorita o eso sería un single aparte?
La canción de House, eso todavía está en negocios entre yo y sí, como que todavía estamos hablando de quién va a ser, pero de lo último que hablamos, él se le están dando unas cositas muy buenas en cuestión de contratos con un equipo, ¿entiendes? Que he's gonna get a lot of movement and publicity soon. So, quedamos en que va a ser un tema de él, featuring me, because, ¿entiendes? It's gonna have a lot of movement and a lot more opportunity to blow up in that way. But yeah, tengo mucha fe para ese tema. Right now, the working title for it is Whiskey, but we don't have a title for it yet. Y nada, o sea, I really hope que eso salga before the year is out because you're gonna see a whole different side of both of us. And like I said, el tipo de canción que you might end up hearing en el carro de tu suegra. Cosas así que tú dices, coño, esto es este pana mío que yo entrevisto. And it's like, yeah, because we're trying to expand that sound into like I've already showed it around to different. I always show it to different types of people. Es lo más importante, no solo a panas míos que le gusta el rap. Every type of person me ha dicho, wow, that's like that sounds like a real song. You know, that's something people say sometimes. Like when you can convince them that you're not you and you're not their friend and that's something else, you know you did a good job.
No, yeah,
So tengo mucha fe en ese tema en ese sentido.
super dope, super dope.
But yeah, right now, September 22, next one, Goodbye. I'm going to drop that on ya está scheduled for all streaming platforms. I still don't have the video montado, pero lo grabo se supone que mañana. So literalmente by September 22, I hope to be dropping the video the same day on YouTube. And when this comes out, I hope you all check it out.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hermano, te iba a hacer una pregunta rapidito. Nos quedan 2 minutos en Zoom. So, quick question. Está Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys, un proyecto completamente hecho de samples. Y recientemente has ampliado some soul every now and then. So, if you were to pick a group or an artist to sample en un proyecto, ¿cuál sería? Right now, off the top.
The sample, does it have to be a group or could it be an artist?
Un grupo, un artista. It could be a movie or a video game.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, like just off the top, I love Erykah Badu. If I could find a producer that could chop up her vocals and really incorporate them into songs in ways, I would love to make some Erykah Badu songs, like some rap inspired. I don't know if you've ever heard of the group Arrested Development.
Underrated.
Of the Tennessee, exacto. Like they have a bunch of like very gospel-y type bops that eso mismo, like every time I hear an amazing song from the 90s, I think, wow, this could be chopped up in a way to make such an amazing rap song now without butchering it, obviously, like keeping the elements that makes it great. And this is just a random note, but probably my favorite sampling on a rap song ever is La de Method Man with Mary J. Blige, You're All I Need.
Classic.
God, and then every time I hear that song, it's like they hit it. They did the right thing there.
Yeah. Obligado. That being said, mano, social media para que la gente sepa, and we close this out.
So social media, everywhere to listen to me, Spotify, Apple Music, 96, all caps, 96 en inglés, to make it easy, 96. You're gonna find me. And redes sociales, I have Instagram, so _96, simple. And apart from that, just hit follow. It's really appreciated, so you can be updated cada vez que saco música, video. I'm on YouTube too, and I'm dropping more consistent music videos. So ahí lo mismo, 96. Hit subscribe. I'm gonna be dropping the goodbye video on September 22. So if you want to check that out, bienvenido. Always welcoming new fans.